Guys, what I can say? Oh, here we go again. Urgent news after Vitkov's meeting with President Putin. Now Donny commented about it. And out of nowhere, we're going to the 2-week mode of the president once again. It seems like Donny gives the last chance after last chance to Putin again and again. Like, how can he disrespect himself so freaking much? There was the press conference already dedicated not to this particular topic, but he answered some of the questions from the journalists, so I may tell you that. I'm just gonna show you this small part of the video, so you may understand the attitude. The question from a reporter is barely heard, so I may tell you what she asked. You said you would know if Putin was tapping you along. What gives you confidence that he isn't doing that this time around? Kind of the interesting question, and let's hear what Donny replied.
He is or isn't doing that this time around.
Can't answer the question yet. I'll tell you in a matter of weeks, maybe less. But we've made a lot of progress.
Yeah, guys, I predicted this some sort of the variant that Trump again would believe the bullshit that Vitkov brought to him, and it seems like I think he believes that still. Wow. Well, there's some of the good news, I'm gonna tell you them as well. So after all, Donny applies the tariffs on India, 25% for now. Before he said about 100%, in the project of Senate there is 500% of the tariffs, but he implemented 25 extra tariffs on India, which is pretty much good for Ukraine, because India should be aware that because by purchasing the Russian oil, it supports the Russian war machine. And India buys lots of the Russian oil, almost equal as China. So then India says, oh, European Union is also purchasing the Russian gas and fossil fuels. Yeah, but way less, way less compared to India. And this was Trump's tweet on Truth Social at the very beginning after conversation with Vitkov. Probably Vitkov went to the airplane, he called Donny directly. My special envoy, Steve Vitkov, just had a highly productive meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Great progress was made. Great, you see, great progress. Notice that, yeah? Great progress. Remember it. Afterwards, I updated some of our European allies. Well, he called to Chancellor Merz and also to Zelensky. Everyone agrees this war must come to a close, and we will work towards that in the days and weeks to come. He forgot to mention this number, yeah? 2 weeks after 2 weeks after 2 weeks, so we may say many weeks, yeah? Which could be converted already to months and will be converted into years. Thank you for attention. It's his usual signature to make the post a little longer. You see, it's quite short. And later on in his press conference, despite what he said, like great progress was made, he said that there was no breakthrough. So, great progress with no breakthrough. Guys, I promise not to speak harshly towards Donald Trump, but we see his rhetorics. It is not changing. Yeah, there are some of the good steps, but compared to the previous White House administration, it is nothing, really nothing, to support Ukraine or allies. Moreover, United States will retreat some of the forces from European Union countries. They're gonna lower the presence by 30%, so it's not a good sign at all. And we see that probably they're playing some of the game with Putler. And we see how Donny really wants to give Russia the final after final chance. It's not a strong president. And by the way, Orban already calls Donald Trump not a strong president. I'm gonna show you later on the video where he said like that. Even Donald Trump supporters are questioning him because Putin is playing with Donald Trump, continue to play. So the best thing from everything which is happening, that United States implement at least some of the tariffs on India. Donald Trump in his conference, he promised to implement tariffs also on China, extra tariffs because they are purchasing Russian fossil fuels. And the other thing which is happening already for more than a month, that United States allowed to sell its military equipment, weapons, to European partners who are in their turn send everything to Ukraine. But again, it limits the Ukrainian military support. There should be direct military help from the United States of America. Actually, it's the part of the mineral deal which United States and Ukraine has already signed, but it is not working. Just give Ukraine what it needs right now, and later on Ukraine may pay back after some time, so it should be like that. It's already like that. But Donny, no, we're gonna sell everything to European partners. They have limited budgets, and yeah, that's why, guys, it's kind of the strange move from Donny. Just uncomparable to previous White House administration. But some of the positive baby steps are there. I hope for more to come. There was the information about the possible meeting between Putin and Trump the next week. I think it was over-exaggerated news based on the broken phone. Then information came from one source to another source, and it changed on the way. So Fox News reported about it.
The Russian President Vladimir Putin as early as next week. This comes right off of Steve Witkoff's meeting.
So yeah, they say that there could be the meeting between Donald Trump and Putin the next week. Then Rubio came out and said, no, we're not planning the meeting for now. There should be more job done. Then there was the information about the meeting between Putin, Zelensky, and Trump, shared by ABC News. But the fact that Donald Trump said about it himself, there is the perspective that the meeting will be happening. We haven't yet decided where, but for today we had a good conversation with Putin, and there is the chance that we may end this long-term war, and soon the meeting is going to happen. So everything is uncertain, under question, and still Donald Trump doesn't have any sort of the plan to resolve this war. They're like trying different things which are not working because Putin is not willing to stop this war. That's the main thing. Donny, wake up! He is sleeping. Sleepy Joe? No, Sleepy Trump. Alright, more from the conference. Trump mentioned that there was no breakthrough in negotiations. So yeah, there was the progress, but not like how can you call this is the positive negotiation with progress if there is no breakthrough? Again, he mentioned that thousands of people are losing their lives. This time, Russia lost 20,000 soldiers since the beginning of the year. Ukraine 9,000. But 3 days ago, Trump said about more than 100,000 Russian soldiers KIA, and Ukraine lost 8,000. But now he lowers the Russian losses by 5 times. Really, the meeting between Witkoff and Putin resurrected roughly 100,000 Russian soldiers. Again, he mentions the usual bullshit that there are no Americans in this war. Actually, there are Americans in this war, by the way, from both of the sides. So just to recall the Derek Hoffman, who joined the Russian army. So it's the war of Biden, not this standard bullshit. Yeah, he mentioned 50% of tariffs on India, so totally 25 standard plus 25 because they're purchasing Russian oil. And here's one more important question from journalist. Is your deadline for Russia and for Putin still valid? Yeah, here the question was to 50 days, which turned to 10 days, and 10 days expire in a couple of days. Well, Trump answered basically nothing. We have a serious negotiations right now to finish it. So he meant the war. That's it. That's it. There is no deadline. Deadlines doesn't simply exist with Donald Trump. 2 weeks, 2 days, 50 days, 1 year, 24 hours. As with the losses in the Russian-Ukrainian war, as with the Ukrainian military support funds, 350 billion United States dollars, he takes numbers from the air. No plan, no real information, nothing is there. It is the delusional idiocracy which is out there in United States of America. And Putin is using this situation in his favor all the way. So my previous video that I said that Putin lost it, at first I thought like that, yeah, there were lots of the triggers, like Donald Trump would apply sanctions on Russia, everything will be settled very fast because otherwise Trump would lose his reputation. But here, actually, the less possible variant seems to be true. Well, in a couple of days, we're gonna see if Trump applies sanctions on Russia or not, but it seems like, judging on this information, there is pretty much low chance for it. Well, if it happens, it would be a miracle, but even that will not help to solve the war in Ukraine, and Trump, I guess, knows that. And those are the Russian stocks, you see. Everything is in green. So they're happy that Trump is not applying any sort of the pressure on Putin. Nothing happened. Absolutely zero. Just blah, blah, blah from Donny, really incompetent, really weak president of USA. The weakest ever, probably. Yeah, again, I'm gonna call him different names because he deserves that. And moreover, on my other channel, and probably on this one as well, I'm gonna film more about Epstein files and other Trump's fuck-ups. Yeah, this is some sort of the Orban press conference in kind of the strange environment. So he said, I thought that the United States president would be strong enough to interfere with the European leaders, whether they like or not. But he wasn't strong enough. So even freaking Orban monks Donald Trump, because Donny is really not strong enough. He's not even close to be strong. He's blah, blah, blah guy. He's making show and he's the main actor there. Yeah, here Orban is very sad because everyone wants to support Ukraine except him. And the United States president wasn't able to change their minds for the time being. And look, just look at his face here, like, he is not able to change. We counted on you, Donny, but Donny is selling the weapons to European partners, right? Pro-Russian Orban is disappointed. So yeah, there are actually good steps from the current White House administration. It's not completely pro-Russian as Hungary, but the baby steps Donald Trump is doing, it's not enough at all. Like, Putin still plays with him. And Donny, it seems like he understands, but he mentions again, I'm gonna tell you in some weeks, oh my god, this is so low. Like, I'm not American, but even for me, it's like humiliation. Yeah, I don't know, guys, about your opinion, but mine, it's cringe, really. The United States shows that it's not strong any longer, and China watches it, even India watches, all the world. Hungarian dictator is even making fun, so... What it shows? It shows that something is wrong. Zelensky commented the conversation with Donald Trump. Oh, by the way, he has the same color of the phone as me. And by the way, it's not the latest version, it's 15. So here Zelensky mentions the same stuff. Trump is always right, we're gonna do what Trump says, but we're not gonna trade our interests, like we're not gonna give our ground to Russia, we're gonna fight for it, but the rest, like all of the peace initiatives, ceasefire and so on, we agree on that. Just make Putin to agree on that too, please. Yeah, it sounded more officially here, but you understand the meaning. And what we have here, guys, after the meeting, the usual Russian strikes on Ukraine, a significant attack is ongoing now in the Dnipro city. Yeah, local Telegram channels posted that, so lots of the Shahids are now in Dnipro. You see there are some of the kabooms. Yeah, usual Putin's policy. Putin even launched lots of the strategic bombers this night, but they turned around and landed. They didn't launch their missiles, strangely. But drones, again, more than 100 drones were spotted in Ukrainian sky. So should we expect the major breakthrough from the White House administration? Hard to tell. The probability is very, very small. Ukraine needs to hold for those 3.5 years to cope with this buffoon in power, and later on, hopefully, there will be more adequate administration to support Ukraine and allies and itself. But now they're just idiots in power who act abruptly with no any plans, with nothing in their minds. And what they promise, with numbers, with days, with everything, doesn't count. It's nothing, really. What they say is nothing. And they may change their opinion in a matter of hours. They are so loyal to dictators. They are brainwashed by dictators. And yeah, Putin didn't lose it, as I mentioned in my previous video. He is actually a winner here. After all. Well, we'll see in a couple of days if American president is really a master of his words, which he is not, whether he applies new sanctions on Russia. But I may tell you that I would be really surprised if it happens. My friends, please check out my channel. I film regular updates, and today I filmed, I would say, One of my best videos, actually, it's about the Russian black widows of wives who sent their husbands to the front lines one way just to receive the huge compensation, millions of rubles. And they do it again and again, several times, like 5 times, to be married on Russian warriors who are unalived in Ukraine. It's the usual thing for them, for those black widows. And guys, thank you so much for supporting me on Patreon. You make me film more, motivate me for producing good quality, I guess, content. If you like it, press like, and I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are, and have a great time.